Well, howdy everybody, Hellgrex here. Just doing an update. I guess it's been a long time since I did one. Think it was maybe June. Yeah, I've been busy doing stuff. Yeah, it's like my father's been in the hospital, so taking care of that and running up and down. It's like a 4 or 5 hour trip to go see him, so about once a week that's been taken care of. Then we had the Iowa State Fair and getting that taken care of. Successful year. So, yes, been busy. But yes, I still been busy. Getting some time on the table here, doing a little bit of painting. As you can see, the 3D printer has been busy printing stuff out. Here we got some vehicles. Just kind of panning around here. Got what's basically you're looking at if you're on the Facebook group, the Musty Wargamers, you'd see that some of the stuff been posted before. But this is basically a heavy battalion of vehicles for the Free Worlds League. There you go. So here you see some Ontos in the front. I got a Lance of Ontos. And then we have a Lance of Hetzers. You got two with a rack 5, and then we got the two standard with the AC-20. So a little bit of variation there in that. And then we have the infamous Saracens with the AC-20 on board. So a fast-moving, delivering poison pill platform. Kind of cool. The infamous Savannah Masters. So these guys, all they have to do is flock them, and they're done pretty much. I am thinking about doing a little bit, maybe lighter purple dry brush on the fins of those Saracens. So kind of bring out a little more details. There's lots of details on these 3D printed. And just to let you know, these 30 mil bases, I printed everything off so that they would be fit. I downsized them because some, if they were actual size, they'd be about that big. It's like the super size that you see with Catalyst stuff anymore, that it overlaps the base by half an inch or more. No, I don't like that. So I scaled them down to about 30, 32. Like this one's 32, so it's a little bit bigger than the base, but it's not obnoxiously big. And if you look at these Hetzer here, I actually increased the size a bit because it was actually smaller, but I increased it to 30, so it kind of fills the base. Even though the actual vehicle is probably a heck of a lot smaller in reality if you're looking in game terms. So, but it is what it is. And you look at this guy. You can see on the fins, there's details in the fins. I'm just thinking about doing a little dry brush to pop them back out. But it is. And then you look at these Savannah Masters. Maybe a little dry brush to bring out details. Then you look over here. We have, the Shreks. I'm just working on this Shrek here. We got one out of the 4 done of that Lance. And I'm still thinking I probably should go back in and do a little dry brush to get the edges to pop out some. And we got these Bulldogs. These are slightly bigger. I think I made these 32s. It probably could be dropped down to a 30 just to make sure that they fit on the base a little better, but it is what it is. And these Myrmidons, same thing. There's some good details in these things on these Myrmidons. So you can see there's those three lances. And over here we have some von Leckners and some Manticores and Mantufels. these guys. They're Omni vehicles, so they're a little bit farther down the line than 3050. So it's got like a rack 5 with 3 medium lasers on board for tearing things up. And this one here is a Gauss rifle with, I think, I don't know if the 3 medium lasers with a Gauss rifle, something like that. And then we got a lance of pikes, for anti-air. There's AC2s, plink away. Then we got some patents, Rommel patents. Pretty much. And then demolishers. Yes. Nasty little machines. Demolishers. Well, there. That's those vehicles. So yes, there's a battalion. And if you're observant, you'll see some Star Wars Legion miniatures sitting right there that need to be painted. And then there's some more Star Wars Legion miniatures I've been working on. These are not mine. They're part of a project I'm working on for my friend. So there's not big rush. These are for an upcoming campaign, so I just want to get those done. But I'm almost done with these guys. So just a little bit more work. I have to work on all the details on them and bring them out. So we got those 3. And you can see there's 8 Warrior helicopters that I printed off. They're in a work in progress. Yeah, I got some more Savannah Masters just sitting there. I probably should put them back in the bag. But yeah, it is what it is. Okay, here we go. These are the Star Wars Legion miniatures. There's 4 squads that I painted up here this summer. This was my summer project that I worked on. So when I had the opportunity to sit down and do some painting, you can see these guys are all done up. So some Star Wars Legion stuff. And I got some Tim Hall from over his we did some training. I sent him some Chaos miniatures, and he sent me some Battletech of the old plastic stuff that a lot of people don't like. So I got to finish painting those. And then over here you can see a whole bunch more vehicles. They're in the wings for another project that have to be done that are part of that. So the Warriors and some of this other stuff is part of another project. So that's what's going on over there. Oh, I gotta whip over here and show you something. Whoosh. Sorry about the fast cam. If you've been paying attention to my channel, you've seen that I had the Daredevil and Elektra that I did. But this is Wolverine versus Deadpool. And I got these 2. I gotta finish. I printed them all off, and I'm still working on doing some sanding and with stuff to get them to go together and clean them all up. But so far, I got the legs done with this guy, with Wolverine, and then I got his top here. Got to put them together. It's like you can see, I have the holes drilled where I put the LED lights in to cure the inside. And it's a big diorama. The base is sitting way over there that they sit on. So we got all these parts and stuff. The heads and legs and arms and stuff. And you got this part of his sword attachment for Deadpool. And basically, Deadpool is being held in the air by Wolverine with his claws stuck up in his chest right there. And that's the attachment point for right here. These 2 things stick up in his chest. And I'm thinking about putting some pins in and drilling some hole there to hold up, because I'm going to do some change. Basically, you can see the 2 holes here match up with the studs right here in Deadpool's. So I'm thinking of cutting those off, filling them in, then filling these in, and then have Deadpool more free standing or being held up in the air, so his legs are hanging down with no attachment. So I'm going to do a little bit of modification. Change it up. And here's a spider. I printed this off. This is just going to be a diorama effect. Finished painting that from the droid army. So it's something to put on the table. And oh yeah, here's a speeder that goes with the Star Wars Legion guys. I got to finish that. And a bag of vehicles that I printed off that need to be eventually put up. And here's some more vehicles, a bunch of hats. There's different varieties of them. And then I got my proxy 30 mil plastic bases. They only cost like $4.50 for 24 of them. So I ordered a bunch. So there we go. And then more stuff that I 3D printed. These are Myrmidons for my Mechanicus army. I gotta put those together and paint them up. I got some terrain over there. This is kind of cool. I 3D printed a whole bunch of bricks. So when I do terrain effects, then I can just lay down a whole bunch of bricks into it. So it looks like they get blasted to pieces and everything. And then, paint them up with that. So a little bit of effects to go on. And speaking of terrain, it's like here, every once in a while when I got something I print off and I got a little bit of space on it, I'll throw up some terrain like for dioramic effect here. So this is all stuff. And when I print stuff off, I got space on the plate. I'll just throw this in. Eventually this will be added to that, and so I'll have more terrain for the tabletop. And here you go. This is the dioramic base. It took me, I think, almost 3 weeks to print all the parts for that Deadpool versus Wolverine diorama. So it's going to take up some space, but it's going to look really cool. And then I got a whole bunch of 3D printed mechs back here for part of our campaign that eventually need to get painted up. And I got all these mechs over here that need to be painted. So yeah. And I just yesterday went out and bought a whole bunch more alcohol. So it was like $2 per almost 100 or 1,000 milliliters, or 946, I think it is. So it's pretty cheap at Wally World. And I got my famous, what I like to use is flat Rust-Oleum paint for my priming. Works really good. And speaking of, go over here, getting a little tour here. I need to do a full, probably video, because there is Daredevil. You can see he's fairly large, but he's all finished up next to Elektra there. So it's a big old diorama for everything. And there's one of my old, this was probably, I think, from back in April I did this guy. So he's parked up next to Supergirl. So there. That's pretty much everything that's been going on. Sorry for the long time without showing what's going on for everything, but it is what it is. Life gets in the way sometimes and kind of slow down to a crawl. And oh yeah, here's my UV flashlight. It's on. You can barely tell, but it's on. There, for curing stuff. All right, so that's it. That's the update. What's going on around here in the table, the channel, I guess. And I've been busy with a whole bunch of life things, and I still plug away trying to get some miniatures painted. Hope you guys like it. Like and subscribe, share with your friends, and we'll see you in the next one. Alcrex out.